Everyone, my name's Professor Jenny Switkes. I've been at Cal Poly since the year 2001. I really love it here and I'm so glad to welcome you. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the different kinds of math in our department because once you get past calculus, you'll find that there is so much variety in the different types of math that you can get involved with. We have pure mathematics, which is looking at really abstract mathematical structures that we can only sort of picture in our minds and do interesting things with them and prove results with them. We also have mathematics education in our department, which studies the teaching and learning of mathematics. And those two types of math are combined in our pure math / secondary teaching option. Then we have statistics, looking at data. It's so important in our world to be able to do a really good job making sense of all the data around us. So you could choose to focus your electives on statistics. And then we also have applied mathematics where we're building mathematical models. So we're building sets of equations that can describe real world things, a little bit like a model train would be describing a real train. And those two areas of math, statistics and applied mathematics, those are combined into one of our options as well. And you'll each be choosing an option, but you can always change later on because once you get past calculus, you'll start being able to take some electives and you'll have all this variety to choose from and you'll begin to learn what it is that you're really passionate about. And that's a really exciting time, I think, in a student's mathematical career when they start recognizing what they're really passionate about. In the math department, we have several clubs, and honestly, there's always new clubs developing. So I'll mention the ones we have, but when you view this, there may even be more to choose from. So Kappa Mu Epsilon is our math club and honors society. They hold a lot of great events to learn mathematics and then to be involved in different local or regional or even national mathematics meetings that Kappa Mu Epsilon students will attend and even sometimes speak at. SCIAM stands for Society of Industrial and Applied Mathematics. So this is a club that focuses on the applied math side of things. And so there are industry connections to learn about and again, professional meetings to attend and talks to go to. Sophie's Circle focuses on women in math, but absolutely everyone is welcome at it. And they really build a community where people can feel known and you have a place where they can feel free to talk about challenges and then also to do mathematics together. And then currently our newest club is the Association of Applied Statistics. And so, as the name suggests, that would be a club to help you learn more about statistics. So you'll receive emails about all of these clubs, and I'd encourage you to consider getting involved in one or more of these, and it'll be a great way to learn like extracurricular things about math, but also learn about the professional, like what it's like to be a part of the professional math community. So I highly recommend getting involved with these clubs. I wanted to share some things that could help for your process to go smoothly as you get started at Cal Poly. In math, the courses build so much on the previous courses. So getting your transfer credit appropriate if you're a transfer student, or getting AP credit or the correct ALEX placement if you're an incoming freshman, it's so important. So I want to encourage you, to pay attention to where you're getting placed. I often hear people asking about what you can do with a degree in math. So I wanted to share just a little bit about that. Sometimes the only thing that people know they can do is to teach. And absolutely, it's wonderful when people go into careers in teaching, either like K-12 teaching or community college teaching or being a professor at a four-year university. But there are lots of other career opportunities out there. You can work in industry. You can work in a job that might be listed as an engineering job, for example, or a job that might be listed as a computer science job. Also did want to talk a little bit about what research looks like in mathematics. You might wonder, because we are not a laboratory science, so research doesn't look like going into a lab, but there's actually tremendous variety in what research can look like also. So in pure math, a lot of your research might be, really pen and paper or standing at a whiteboard, just, trying things out, coming up with things you think might be true and seeing if you can prove them or find a counterexample. In mathematics education, there's a lot of ways research could look there. You might be actually developing a survey and administering it, and then looking at the results and showing what that tells us about teaching and learning. Or the research could take other forms. In statistics, you might also be collecting data and then analyzing it, or maybe taking a famous data set and seeing what it shows. And then in applied mathematics, you might be writing pieces of computer code to run simulations. You might be developing those mathematical equations for a model and then seeing what they predict. And so I wanted to share that because research is very exciting and fun in mathematics. It has a lot of variety to it. And we have many different ways that you can be involved in research while you're an undergraduate here at Cal Poly. And then there are also plenty of summer opportunities where you could go away for a summer to another campus and study some amazing mathematics as well. So I described earlier that math research has so much variety to it, and we have faculty members doing research in all those different areas, and it really, like, the variety really never ends. Every faculty member has their own research interests that they're passionate about. They often invite students into it. Again, for those pure mathematicians, you would get to be involved with just really fascinating things that we never would have imagined there could be this kind of structure to examine and prove interesting things about. Our math ed faculty are very involved in the local school districts and also in looking at college level student learning and teaching. So there's so much interesting research to look at there. For statistics, again, just tremendous variety. People using software to analyze data sets, people looking more on the probability side of things, doing more theoretical work, but still within the overarching idea of statistics. And then in applied math, which I'm a little bit biased because applied math is my area, but some of the fun of applied math is that you can look at pretty much anything in the real world and look at how to bring mathematical insights to it. And again, I'm highlighting my own area, but if you'll let me share just a couple examples. Currently, I'm working with a master's student who is looking at gerrymandering. So she's looking at the mathematics of how people can manipulate electoral voting districts to try to get a certain outcome in an election. Last year, a master's student of mine worked on a mathematical model associated with global warming and looking at, like, could we get to a point where it's just like things have gone too far in a bad direction and we can't come back? Or could we take measures now to actually pull ourselves back to a good trajectory in terms of what's happening with global warming? Just to give one final example, another master's student last year worked with me on a model for preservation of language. So looking at the idea of a region where there are people who speak one language or a second language, and then also bilingual people, and looking at how this could develop over time and how there could be a nice, healthy preservation of both language groups to be able to maintain all the cultural richness of that. So again, I've shared with you some of the math that I'm especially fond of, but all of these areas of math are absolutely fascinating, and you'll get to attend talks that we have where you can learn more about these areas, and you'll have opportunities to be involved yourself. The first thing I want to mention for our advising structure is that we have incredible office staff who will help you connect with whoever the right person might be to give you the help you need. We have an office staff email address I want to suggest for everyone to just memorize. It's mathstat@cpp.edu. You can always feel free to start there, and we really value giving you whatever help you might need. And so if you start there, we'll absolutely help you connect with the right person to answer your questions. As far as structured advising, we have group advising sessions that we hold during the semester. So you could attend a medium-sized group advising session and probably have a lot of your questions answered. We have online resources if you want to just, potentially find the answer yourself online, you could do that. You will also be assigned a faculty advisor, and you can feel free to reach out to that person anytime. That person will be a full-time mathematics faculty member. So they'll be able to help with questions about your upper division coursework, just any type of math-related question or other questions related to advising. And then I also want to highlight our College of Science Advising Center, which is an absolutely great resource. They have drop-in hours, and you can also make an appointment with a professional academic advisor from that advising center. So I would really recommend making use of that center as well. Something I really want to make sure that each of you knows is that you belong here in our department and that you have what it takes. The reason we admitted you is because we know that. We have confidence in you. And I know it can be, it's hard and scary coming to a new school. And so I just want to let you know that we all believe in you. We know that you belong here. And we want to do everything we can to make your years here at Cal Poly be just an absolutely wonderful experience. So I want to absolutely welcome you, and we look forward to meeting you and getting to know you, and then just being a part of helping you to reach your goals.